Armada Kickoff is brought to you by Community First Credit Union, Winn-Dixie, Baptist Health, Bowden Eye and Associates, Brumos Automotive, and Coastal Spine and Pain Center.
Hello and welcome into Armada Kickoff. As the Armada head toward a bye week, it's their first in the NASL. They're also in the midst of establishing their Florida rivalries. We'll look back on the first leg of that rivalry, played this past Saturday in Fort Lauderdale.
We'll also hear from the players on what they're working on during the bye week. Bob Veal will look at the way the Armada defended against the Strikers, and we'll also have a behind-the-scenes look at the players who traveled to Fort Lauderdale.
But let's start first with the action on the pitch against the Strikers. In the old incarnation of the NASL, Jacksonville and Fort Lauderdale had a heated rivalry. At times, it tended toward chippy and downright hard-hitting. Would the first installment of the Armada versus the Strikers rivalry have the same feeling? To Lockhart Stadium we go. Co-head coach Guillermo Hoyos bringing the passion into this one, and his team would as well. 16th minute, Bochi Hoyos goes over the top to find Keita, who does a marvelous job to control it, but his shot goes just wide. Take another look. Keita was consistently pressuring the Strikers, especially in the first half, just couldn't find the net. 22nd minute now, Jaime Castrillon plays a long one for Keita. And once again, the former La Liga and Swiss Super League striker has a chance but can't get a great foot on it. The match remained in search of its first goal. Now late in the first half, we go to the 44th minute. Fort Lauderdale with a rare attacking opportunity. Little chip into the box and PC Giro there. Lucas Scaglia comes in to challenge and takes PC down in the box. That's a penalty kick for the Strikers. Leo Mora steps up to take it. Armada pointing out that the ball is forward of the penalty spot, but the referee doesn't like the argument. More on that coming up. Finally, Lucas Trejo gets a yellow card, by the way, after all the conversation. Mora would finally step up and take the PK. And the Brazilian import, one of a number of Brazilian imports on the Strikers roster, the opportunity to get the first goal of the match, and he delivers. 1-0 Strikers. Now, early in the second half, the Armada would have the opportunity to equalize. Terrific lifted ball by Scaglia to Bochi Hoyos, who settles it and then slides it past David Mevis for the equalizer. First goal for Hoyos, wearing an Armada shirt. We remain level until the 65th minute. Strikers setting something up. Fabricio Ortiz heads it out to Pascal Million, but Pascal doesn't handle it cleanly. That sets up Giro from about 25 yards out with a massive strike that cuts away from Gallardo to put the Strikers back in front. So two Brazilians scoring for Fort Lauderdale, Mora and PC. Strikers would hold the advantage through added time, and the first leg of the Coastal Cup, as the supporters dubbed it, the battle for the Atlantic, goes to the Strikers 2-1 in full time.
I thought we did pretty well, held their chances, to a minimum, and unfortunately we give away a penalty, and, that's right before the half. That changes games. But we regrouped in the second half, and we came out and, we played the way we should have played, more in the first half. And we got the goal, we were going, and then, we gave up another unfortunate goal. And but, the guys played hard tonight.
Estuvimos cerca, pero no vamos con la cabeza en alto porque dejamos todo y estuvimos cerquita de conseguir el objetivo.
You take a look at the numbers. The Armada, only 3 shots, 2 of them on goal. But you look at the Strikers' numbers. They had 8 shots, but only 1 was on goal. How do you get 1 goal with 2 goals scored? Well, 1, of course, the PK. 20 fouls on the Armada for the second straight match. And you see the yellow cards to Rodriguez, Trejo, Scaglia. And then a red card issued to Trejo. We'll have more on that in just a moment.
The most recent man of the match went to a key player in the Armada midfield, Bochi Hoyos. Son of co-head coach Guillermo Hoyos, Bochi is an attacking midfielder with international experience in both Europe and South America. Against the Fort Lauderdale Strikers last week, Bochi showed great speed, took most of the free kicks, and early in the second half was able to put one just past the goalkeeper for his first goal of the season.
The game was emotion-filled, and the Armada tagged with 3 yellow cards and 1 controversial red card. Lucas Rodriguez booked in the first half. Then late in the first half, after a penalty kick was awarded, the ball was clearly not on the penalty spot. You can see it right there. Just about every Armada player was pointing to it. The referee just ignored it for whatever reason. Lucas Trejo was the one who was finally booked for the yellow. Then late in the match, Lucas Scaglia got a yellow card. You see the booking here of Trejo. The debate continued, but the referee would have none of it. This was a bone of contention, and it started kind of boiling things over. Scaglia getting the yellow card late in the second half, and then a play that just didn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. Take a look at this. Tell me who you think should have gotten the red card here. Stefano Pino, who initially got a yellow, then it was changed to a red, or Lucas Trejo. Trejo just gets pushed in the face, and Trejo initially got the red, but this week the league reviewed the red card after an appeal from the Armada, and the appeal was upheld, so Trejo will not miss the next match against Tampa. Remember, though, after 5 yellows, a player gets a 1-match ban, after 8 another, so we'll keep an eye on that as the season progresses.
Creo que el fútbol es un sentimiento, el fútbol es una pasión y el fútbol de donde nosotros venimos es una forma de vivir. Es como si fuese una religión para nosotros.
Here are some matches to look forward to. The Armada had a bye week this week, and they are visiting the Rowdies in Tampa next Saturday. Starting in May, all matches will be held at Community First Park. First up, on May 2nd, they take on the San Antonio Scorpions for a day themed around celebrating the global game and all its cultures. And on May 9th, the Boys in Blue take on Indy 11. This day will be in honor of all servicemen and women.
All right, the Armada having their first bye week, first ever, and it came very early in the season. Krissty caught up with some of the players to hear their thoughts and just how they keep busy during the bye week.
Miguel Gallardo kept up the momentum this week and thinks that even though it's early on in the season, this bye week is exactly what the team needed.
I mean, it is what it is. You know, we got to deal with what we got at hand. We got to make the most of the situation. So I think it'll give us some nice time to really think about what we're doing wrong and really work on the things that we need to improve on. So it'd be nice to have a little break and really focus on what we need to do so we come 100% to face Tampa.
With a little hard work and coaching, Lucas Rodriguez and Sean Nicolau remain confident that the Armada will be 100% ready by the time they face Tampa next week.
I think we obviously have things to improve on, which is, you know, it's a team that started from nothing basically and has 2 months of being alive, and I think we've done so far fairly well for not having a lot of history, but I think we have players that have the right mentality and that want to work hard, want to achieve big things, and the coaching staff is doing a great job, and you just got to keep on doing what we're doing.
It's up to the coaches to tell us. You know, they're going to analyze the games and see what we did wrong and then present it for us in the practices. You know, all we can do is just stay positive going into the next game and everything, you know, just learn from our mistakes.
Working on those errors and mistakes is something the team has been doing all week. Even former Tampa Bay FC player Pascal Million, who's taking this match a little more personally.
I'm just going to take that personal, and at the same time, and then I'm just going to do everything I can, you know, going back to where I started my professional career, and it's going to be a special moment. So I just want to make sure that, you know, I bring my A game, and you know, so we know it's not going to be easy, especially they beat us in preseason. So we're just going to try to go out there and get the 3 points.
The Name the Kraken contest has finalized the top candidates that the public will soon be able to vote on. Armando, Jonesy, named after founder of U.S. Navy John Paul Jones, Carl with a K, and my favorite, Squid Vicious. Remember, you'll be able to cast your votes on armadafc.com or Armada Social Rewards. You must submit by April 30th, and it will be unveiled on May 2nd.
And here's a great way to get your Armada fix. Speaking of the Kraken Pack. Choose one of 2 packs. 8 matches, just $88. Both packs include matches against the New York Cosmos and Fort Lauderdale Strikers, plus 6 other NASL fixtures. Call 844-2-ARMADA or purchase online at armadafc.com. Straight ahead, we'll have highlights from around the NASL and a look at the standings after 2 weeks of matches.
And Bob Veal shows us why the Armada should feel rather happy about their defense in Bob's boot room. Stick around, more Armada Kickoff is straight ahead.
Armada season tickets still on sale. You can take advantage of an interest-free monthly payment plan. You get it prorated for the remaining matches in terms of the number of tickets, obviously. Just 1 home match gone, 15 more to go. Tickets start at just $10 per match. Call 844-2-ARMADA or online at armadafc.com. It's a strange week around the NASL. A lot of draws. Maybe that speaks to the balance in the league, or maybe it's still early and teams are still in the process of rounding into form.
Let's start with the Atlanta Silverbacks hosting the Ottawa Fury. Stars and Stripes and the Maple Leaf flying before the match. 34th minute. Nicky Peterson of Ottawa bends one in on the free kick to give the Fury a 1-0 lead. It will remain that way until the second half. 57th minute. Watch the pass from Shaka Bangura, finding Kyle Porter in the Canadian national. Taps it home to level the match. It ends a 1-1 draw. Indy 11 hosting the New York Cosmos. Over 10,000 on hand in Indy. Great crowd. They had something to cheer here. Brian Brown with Cosmos goalkeeper Jimmy Maurer out of the box. Deft little chip to put Indy up 1-0 in the 12th minute. 64th minute now. Watch the save by Indy goalkeeper Christian Nicht. Keeps Indy on top with a great shot there. Take another look at it. This is a terrific job by the goalkeeper for Indy to keep it as a 1-0 match at that point. It would not last, though. 65th minute, and it is Raul, the all-time leading scorer in Real Madrid history, gets his first goal for the Cosmos. That match would end in a 1-1 draw as well. Tampa Bay Rowdies hosting Minnesota United. United not playing on opening weekend. Both sides struggling to find the net here with over 7,000 on hand at Al Lang Stadium. There were some chances. Rowdies forward Robert Hernandez, you saw there, had the chance, couldn't find the range. 48th minute there without a goal. United with a chance, but this time, really the theme of the day, defense dominates in a 0-0 draw. FC Edmonton went from training in Ponte Vedra and playing in Jacksonville to this. Back home in Canada, they host the Carolina Railhawks. Carolina got the scoring started. Leo Osaki's cross finds Nacho Novo. That's Nacho goal. 41st minute, Railhawks up 1-0. It would remain so until the first half stoppage time when the Eddies' Saini Niasi finds Lance Lang. 1-1 at that point, and that would be the final point each for FC Edmonton and for Carolina.
So here's the league table after last weekend's action. 3 teams tied atop the table with 4 points. Carolina, Tampa, whom the Armada will face next week after the bye, and the New York Cosmos. The Armada then right there at a point off the top spot. Strikers also with 3 points. Then the rest of the table, including the bottom, surprisingly so far after just 1 match, but still no points for the defending champion, San Antonio Scorpions. Now let's head to Bob's Boot Room, presented by Nike. Here are Bob Veal and Krissty Andaur.
Thank you, Cole. Bob, Saturday night's match against Fort Lauderdale wasn't quite the outcome the Armada wanted, but let's take a look at how the defense played.
Yeah, I think the defense played really well, considering there were 20 fouls, and that means they were pressurized in defending 20 times that we gave the ball away, plus any other times. Let's look at some clips of that. This is the first one, a foul out on the right-hand side, the kick in, watch this defense. Plays it out, clears the ball. So the foul put them under pressure. Okay, let's go to the second clip. Another foul here, and free kick in, and this is a good save by the goalkeeper. He's up there, Miguel saves that one, but it put us under pressure again. Let's go to the next clip. And these are just a few of the 20 fouls or free kicks that we gave away. Here we come in from the right. He's going to swing this as an out swinger in, and the defense has to step up again and play it away. And of course, from those playaways, you don't always get clean possession to get it to the midfield. So it puts us under pressure. Let's go to the next clip. This is playing down the right from a free kick. And this is a center. And there again, we're under pressure. And here's a foul. This is the foul in the box, which resulted from the penalty.
Yep, Lucas
so
Gaglia.
18 yards, in came a midfielder, challenge for the ball.
You see there, the players are huffing and
foot
puffing.
high. But if you notice, number 16, who was Scaglia, sat down on the ground, gripped his head, because he knew exactly what he'd done. He knew that that wasn't disciplined. Okay, let's move to the next clip, because we know he puts the penalty away. This is again, we fouled in the middle of the field. They build up. Our defense is under pressure. So they have to play it back. Our defense has to come out now to press high up the field. But again, we gave it away. And let's go to one more. Have we got one more clip that we can play for a foul? Let's move on to the next clip. And that, what this does, this is again a foul. Defense has to drop back. And there we go, play it back, and look at the pressure that's put the defense under. So if you count 20 fouls, and 10 times we gave the ball away in midfield without a foul, 30 times we put the defense under pressure. And they played really well under that pressure.
Thank you, Bob.
Pleasure.
The Armada has a bye week this week, and they are looking to bounce back after last week's loss as they head into Tampa next weekend. Cole?
All right, thanks, guys. Straight ahead, we'll convene the analyst roundtable as Armada Kickoff rolls on.
The Armada Social Rewards program is a great way to stay connected with the team via social media. Just go online at armadasocialrewards.com, create an account, and start earning free gifts like jerseys, scarves, and even tickets to future matches. Each week we pick a random winner, and congratulations to Lauren Crowell. You've won 2 tickets to the May 2nd match against the San Antonio Scorpions and this awesome Navy Armada t-shirt. Congrats. And now let's head over to the roundtable. Cole?
Players that you can switch around, and we're going to be very strong.
We saw a lot of different players, a lot of different lineups.
All right, thank you, Krissty. Joined here on the Analyst Roundtable by David Hayes and Andy Kidd. All right, let's take a look at that Fort Lauderdale match. What are your thoughts coming out of the first regular season hookup with the Strikers?
Well, I'll tell you, Cole, one thing that I learned is that we're going to go on the road, we're going to compete, and we're going to challenge every team that we play. I mean, the thing that I liked most is how we came out at halftime. It's kind of a benchmark for teams, a measuring stick. You go into halftime down 1-0 on the road, how are you going to come out? And we came out with a purpose to get that goal back. So I was really, really pleased to see that. Unfortunate, not to pull away the W, but I think you can take a lot of positives out of that game.
Yeah, I mean, I think our preparation has to be better. I think Andy said it right. In the second half, we started to come around, but the first half we did it. So our preparation has to come better. Maybe our line of confrontation has to be better. I think we're a little bit deeper on the road. I think we need to just prepare better.
All right, this was an interesting thing. During the telecast, Bob thought that Keita wasn't getting enough help up front, that he was running out and nobody was coming with him. Do you agree with that? Did you see that?
I do. Again, I think whether it's a line of confrontation or whether you're away and you're not prepared right, or whether you're just sunk in and they have majority of the possession, we're just too deep. So it's hard if you're chasing the ball to then get legs to go forward. So I think we're in a clearance mode, and then Keita's the only one up there without support.
But I would say we probably wouldn't be having this conversation if Keita finishes one of those chances, or Jamal finishes one of those chances, or maybe our last pass in the attacking third is a little bit sharper. We'd probably be sitting here going, wow, what a great 3-1 win for the Armada, and we may not be talking about if Keita had support or not.
One of the things we are talking about is the emotional aspect of the match. A lot of yellows, a lot of jawing on both sides. Maybe it was the Argentina versus Brazil sort of thing. Was the emotional display, was it a good thing or a bad thing in your mind?
In this game, in this certain situation, I thought it was a bad thing only because we couldn't keep it in check. We got silly yellow cards, and in a 10-game season, if you miss a game because you have amassed too many yellow cards, that's a 10th of your season that you're missing one of your starters. So if we can keep it in check, it can be a good thing, but I think this game is a bad thing. 5
yellows is a 1-match ban. The 8th, another match ban.
I agree. I think somebody has to step up and be a leader. I think the emotions they're just too widespread. Everyone has them, and I think there has to be one voice, one mind.
All right, it's early in the season. Second week, 2 weeks in, you get a bye week. Would you like it this way? Would you rather have a bye later on? Is there a benefit to having an early bye week in the spring season?
I mean, it's good and bad. I mean, you get a little bit of recovery after your preseason going into regular season, but I think I would like mine midway through where we know who we are now, we have an identity, and then we can work on things that we need to be fixed. Earlier on, I'm not sure we do have an identity yet.
And it really depends on your last game. If we had won that game going into the bye week on a 2-0 or even a tie, 2-0 or 1-0-1, I mean, you'd be sitting there going, all right, good week to recover from the preseason, get everybody healthy. But now we're thinking about a loss for 2 weeks. So it's not great timing, for where we are in our season.
Based on what you've seen, is Fort Lauderdale a challenger for the spring championship, and should we put then the performance of the Armada in a certain context because of that?
Yeah, I think they're certainly a playoff team. I think they may be a piece or two short of being a championship team, but they're certainly a playoff contender, and which shows the Armada went on the road against a playoff contender and competed well. I would probably put Tampa ahead of them right now this early phase of the season, but Fort Lauderdale's a strong team.
I think they're a strong team, but this league is good. I mean, there's a lot of good players. They've made a lot of good acquisitions to the league. So I think this league, anyone can win at this point in time. But Fort Lauderdale's good.
You think this league's gotten better over the last couple of years?
I do.
I mean, you've had a lot of a connection with this league, so you think the level of play is raised?
Absolutely. I think we have better owners. I think all across the board we have better fans and just better players and just better support system.
David Hayes, Andy Kidd, thanks so much. What's it like to travel on the road with the Armada? We'll have a behind-the-scenes look when we come back right here on Armada Kickoff. A reminder, now is a great time to get your single match tickets. We have matches coming up starting on May the 2nd at home against San Antonio. That's the World Celebration match. And then May the 9th, Indy 11 comes to town. We'll see if that Indianapolis-Jacksonville rivalry really heats up. That's military appreciation as well. Matches from just $14 per match. And you can see the other matches in the spring schedule still to come. Call 844-2-ARMADA or online at armadafc.com.
Armada players and fans everywhere are engaging on social media on a daily basis, especially Twitter, so we figured why not share it. Last Saturday against Fort Lauderdale, Daryl Jones made the trip down the coast and shared this photo. Strikers fans in Section 904 tailgate.
Oh.
Kartik also shared a photo of Section 904 in full force at the stadium.
Yeah.
After the match, several players, including Miguel Gallardo, Tommy Krasanovic, and Pascal Million, tweeted their positivity and thank yous for all the support. Twitter and social media is, again, a great way to stay connected with the players.
Remember, you get the latest on the Armada online at armadafc.com, on radio on the Armada Soccer Show, Fridays at 3 o'clock on Sports Radio 930. You can also hear the Armada Monday podcast with Bob Vielemny on armadafc.com.
You can also learn more about the team on Armada's YouTube channel. And speaking of video, we leave you with a behind-the-scenes look at the Armada on the road heading into Fort Lauderdale. I'm Krissty Andaur.
I'm Cole Pepper. We'll see you next time.